We're live.
Welcome, welcome, every fish. Welcome to the sixth annual FIVARS Festival of International Virtual and Augmented Reality Stories. I'm here with my colleague Jin, who is truly one of the most extraordinary developers for the web VR space. Um, Spatialized web, he's been around since the beginning for me. And we also have our fantastic lead programmer, who has been uh, working behind the scenes like all of Santa's elves to build something truly extraordinary. And in many ways, there's a lot of precedents being set here. We're building on a huge wealth of experimentation and pioneering work by a lot of exceptional people that a lot is sort of a bit of a misnomer because it's really not a lot of people. There's a small cluster of people that are really carrying the torch for what the spatialized web can be and will become. So Jen and I are just gonna kind of give you a bit of a breakdown of what's going on here, and just as a way to introduce you to this awesome festival that is coming together.
Yeah, you know, having to go from a physical event to a completely virtual event comes with its own challenges. So, taking all these great stories and making it accessible to many, and past virtual film festivals, they had it so that you would need to actually download the entire file to view it. And these can get to some pretty large file sizes if you're to do that. Your hard drive might fill up after one or two. That's where I think the web really has its advantage, where from the event page, you could go directly into the festival itself without any installation. And so, it
Right now, we're just looking at some of the lead up of the festival, how this space came together. You can see sort of early wireframe versions of it, and then how it's been progressively getting better and better, and with a real focus on the UX part of it. Wanted to make sure that that part of being able to be a truly international festival, so anybody coming in through a phone, through a desktop in any country who may not speak the language or who may have an accessibility concern, um, is also able to participate in this festival equally. And I think, Jin, you and I were talking about one of the most important parts of this development is that you can push changes instantly, and we can be doing changes in real time and observing the logs and making, instant changes to the experience. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, it really, is a development advantage where if there's a bug report that comes in, we can fix it right on the fly and push an update live that, instantly takes care of itself. But, on any kind of native platform, it would um, need to be re-uploaded and then re-downloaded, and you don't really get that iterative um, process as you do with web. So we're able to kind of build and fix things as we go.
And another thing I need to point out is that I went back to my friends who were always towing the line for the Janus framework because even 5 or 6 years ago, I was seeing way faster response in terms of how Janus treated spherical video, 360 video than anybody else by a long shot.
Yeah, let's just
And in the
do a
background,
replay. Look at this. Look at this part. Going into the
right,
video right here. So check
right.
out a video, hit play, instantly starts playing.
Yeah, there's no buffer time either. A lot of sites you'll see, 90 seconds to 2 minutes or beyond buffer time just to get your 4K spherical video running. But the method that we're using, which is also powered by a lot of tweaking of the AWS, services for transcoding, for serving up video on demand, for just-in-time video playback, are being harnessed along with the power of Janus as a vastly customized subset of that code to create. I think one of the first times I've seen, you know, instant on 4K video with spatialized audio, 5.1 surround audio, natively in the browser, no buffer time, no downloads, no offline downloads, and no proprietary software that would potentially wall you into somebody's particular ecosystem. So by doing this with an MIT license, a lot of these innovations that we're doing with James, by Jin, and into the code can be folded back and benefit the community as a whole as well.
Yeah, and that's what I think is going to really push the needle forward in terms of the open metaverse. With this project, um, it has a lot of components that can serve the ecosystem at large.
Yeah, I think in the world we're in, where we're seeing Facebook kind of clamp down and dominate the VR space, there's a lot of concern, of course, not only about privacy, but about needing to sort of play by their rules. And when they become this monolithic sort of structure, they can basically set the price, set the time, set the location. But what we're really interested in doing here with FIVARS, not only technologically, but culturally as a festival, is to be able to have an international showcase for content creators from all over the world who don't have to worry about kind of elitist infrastructure in order to have their work seen and shown. And we can scale this as we desire on our time with our communities that connect together and expand and become interoperable. So really, there's a lot of different layers going on here, but this is a true independent festival for true independent artists. And by independent, we don't mean broke or, you know, grunge or something. It just means that we are not beholden to any other sort of consideration except to create the best possible experience for anybody at all. And right here, you can see in the video, Bai implemented the ability to use the tab key on your keyboard to toggle between the experiences. And the full experience, not just this one, but our official website, are fully accessibility minded and designed. So you could actually do this whole festival space with a screen reader and no sight at all and have it read out to you what's going on. Even the fish, I even took a night to find the actual names for each of the fish avatars that we have so that if you are doing this strictly through audio, you'd be able to know what fish you chose. There's a lot of UX considerations going on here.
Yeah, and I see, this also just being able to connect to other virtual worlds eventually as well. Like with these portals that we have, that take us, it takes you to a completely separate HTML page. But in the future, that could be something built with a different WebXR framework as well. So, in terms of interoperability, I think FIVARS has this vision of just kind of like taking this experience and templatizing it, and making it more of a universe of stories, right? What do you think about that? You've got a whole bunch of
Yeah,
stories that are curated here, but what about other ways of linking into this pond, maybe?
of course. I mean, one of the ideas behind the VRTO flotilla in June was that you would not just have different spaces and realities, but even different tech stacks completely. So you could link up, you know, crypto voxels and VR chat and Janus and hubs worlds all together for this sort of future where eventually people can do things their own way but still do world hopping and even port assets in between those worlds, personas, avatars, what have you.
Yeah, I think web really plays a role in doing that because you can launch any of those things from the browser. So that's really fantastic. And any closing
I just want
thoughts?
to give a shout out here to, yeah, this is a Hunter Fox's work here, this design work in collaboration with Jin. Jin is also like a magician in terms of building these beautiful spaces, and they're doing, a lot of polygons. They're doing beautiful lighting here. This is all happening natively in your browser because it's running off of your GPU. So this is not a big giant, graphics pack that you're downloading of assets, this is all being generated by your graphics card inside of your browser in real time. Of course, we have optimizations. There's things that we bake together and so on to make that a little quicker. But uh, one of the reasons that this can even work is because it's not a gigantic download that you need a powerful CPU to run. So this is bleeding edge tech in many ways because you're leveraging the more and more powerful graphics processors that we're using both in our phones and in our desktops. And that's something that we really wanted to take advantage of and show people that, you know, being separated socially and so on and so forth doesn't mean you have to feel separated as people. And you really come out of this feeling like you've been somewhere with other people. So, in closing, I just want to thank all of you again for being here. I don't know how you found your way here, but it's amazing that you did. And I want to thank all of my team, Stephanie Greenall, Chrissy Aitchison, Jin, Bai, for making this reality come together. Have an amazing show. We have a few more weeks to go. And all the content creators, we salute you for your incredible work. Thank you.